Hi guys! So welcome to another pick a card. This pick a card is what the Akashic Records want you to know to do with March. So we're going to go straight in. I actually, because I'm at a different location today, I actually don't have any of my crystal stones. So we're just going to choose 4 piles. So let's see if you feel your answer is in message number 1, message number 2, message number 3, or message number 4. So obviously just take a moment now, see which one you felt most drawn to like this, and then I'm also going to turn them over. So is your answer in message number 1? Is your answer in message number 2? Is your answer in message number 3? Or is your answer in message number 4? So obviously just go with your feeling, your gut instinct, no matter what you saw with the pictures, and we'll go straight on to message number 1. So message number 1, you were attracted to pile number 1, and the first card we get coming out here is the archetype of Aries. So let's pull out some more cards to see what's going on, but it's pretty clear that March is going to be an action-packed month for you, I do feel. I think it's also going to be things where you need to respond really quickly to. I think you need to think on your feet, but I also think you need to be really strategic, and it's almost like you've got to think about... I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the book called The Art of War. I'm getting that kind of energy that's coming in. So it's not about you going into battle, but it's about you understanding the strategies of psychology and how to be successful with whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve in March. Oh wow, so nice. The first card, and I think these cards are amazing, that we get for you guys is the Sun. So that's an amazing positive energy to come out. Again, it's really youthful. There's a lot of youthful energy coming out for you guys in March. Then we have 7 of Pentacles. So this is as well what I was saying about you really need to have a strategy. You need to have a plan. So I don't know what it is that you're trying to do or trying to create in March, but you absolutely, that's twice it's coming out now, with Aries and with the 7 of Pentacles, you must have a plan. And specifically with the 7 of Pentacles as well, I'm hearing that it's a plan that you need to come up with based on your experiences from the past. So whatever you're going to go through in March, it's something where you've gained a lot of experience previously. So it's kind of like this previous experience that you've had over a number of different months and years is something that you need to use to leverage your situation in March. And again, it's by being strategic and considering. I'm also hearing that even though the Aries energy and the Sun energy can be a very youthful, innocent type of energy with lots of energy, I'm actually hearing that that's one thing that you need to be mindful of in March. You guys need to make sure that the strategy is more potent and more powerful than any emotional response that you're going to have to something in March. And just watch out for your emotional response. Now again, you know how I always do this thing about how people are on a different spectrum to do with this energy. So at one extreme, you're going to have people where you've got to be careful that you're not going to be emotionally reactive, and you've got to be really careful that you're not trying to fight battles that were never meant to be a battle. This is so important, otherwise you can end up using so much of this powerful energy sort of running round in circles, essentially, because you're fighting battles that aren't relevant for you, and it's not going to do anything to help you. On the other extreme version of this, I think it's people where basically you maybe plan stuff to the nth degree and you're almost too cautious sometimes with what you do. So because you're too cautious, you actually miss a lot of opportunities that are coming through. So you know your own energy, you know who you are, and you know which spectrum of this frequency is relevant to you. Now let's just see what we got here. Oh wow, Judgment. So it does really feel like it's interesting. So you get Aries as the beginning energy coming out, and then and we get youthful energy, lots of opportunity, lots of movement, lots of growth. But then in the middle we get, you need to consider, you need to make plans, you need to watch your emotional reaction. And at the end we kind of get this whole energy of coming to a new awareness of something, which brings you to a new level in your life, and it helps you level up in some way. I do think for about 50% of you as well, this is literally going to mean a new opportunity is present and available for you in March, and by the end of March you're really fully engaging with that opportunity. Again, I just really keep hearing this thing about you just need to be careful that you don't channel your passion, your aggression, your irritation, your frustration, your creativity, your sexuality. Like, you need to channel this energy in a way that is mature and productive and super, super savvy. I'm hearing this is really, really important. It's so, so important, because I feel like, because a big movement is coming for you with the sun, and it's appearing quickly, and it'll be highlighted to you very, very fast. There's something about that that's going to be, could potentially be really quite emotional for you, because it's what it actually means, or it's how it relates to things that you've experienced in the past. And this is why you need to be fully considering everything before you're making some moves. And if you do this, then when you make the move, when you take the action, you're going to level yourself up and get to a whole new reality. But also, please be very, very careful of the booby trap of an Aries energy, which can be, don't spend a lot of energy fighting a battle that's never supposed to be a battle. That's so, so important. So again, you've got to be super savvy, you've got to be super smart. I often think the Aries energy works really well with the Capricorn energy, because you need to bring in Capricorn's kind of like savvy shrewdness, like controlled of their emotions, understanding of timing, has ultimate emotional intelligence in so many ways. So you need to kind of bring that sort of energy in, is what I'm hearing. Now let's just see. I feel like a few more tarot, because I'm in a pink mood. So let's have a look. So what else do you guys need to know about March? I do feel like my heart rate is increased when I'm reading this reading for you guys. So it kind of feels like there's a bit of an expectation. I feel like you guys might have a bit of an expectation of how you want things to go in March, or it might be that there's a certain amount of pressure that things need to go in a certain way for you guys in March. I don't know which way it is, because you're all going to be a bit different, but that's just something to consider. So then we have the World. So interesting. So we have the Judgment and the World. So we definitely have the ending of an old cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, but we also have kind of like the successful completion of some kind of experience, awareness, belief system, lesson, challenge, gift, something like that, because it's different for all of you. God, we have so many major arcanas for you guys. So then we have the Chariot. So again, a chariot's a really powerful one. And this does again tell me that you're going to gain a lot of self-mastery. What I'm really hearing is you're finding a way actually to use the youthful energy and the frustration and the aggravation and the emotional responses and all of that kind of more immature kind of emotional energy. You're really finding a way to kind of like own it. And because you find a way to properly own it and properly use it, a whole load of situations and circumstances are coming out for you in the form of big opportunities. Oh, no way! Another major arcana. I promise you I've properly shuffled these. So now we have the Fool, one of my most favourite cards in the deck. And again, the Fool has very much got kind of an Aries energy that comes up with it. So it's kind of like it's a really interesting mix and match that you're going to have to do, I think, to gain the most out of March. Is, you know, if you can see this, can you see, oh wait a minute, let the light on it, there we go. Can you see we've kind of got that infinity symbol? And with that infinity symbol, I kind of feel this energy of, it's like you're going to be balancing two polarities. You're going to be balancing kind of like youth and all of the things that come with youth. So obviously that comes with youth is inspiration, ideas, creativity, emotional immaturity, mental immaturity, but an adventurous spirit, a free spirit, a very kind of, I don't know, just a lot of youthful energy that you're going to have available. But at the same time, you're going to actually need to balance that with this kind of energy. The World, the Judgment and the Chariot. So you're going to have to try and balance it with sort of like a, and I don't quite know how to describe it, like you've got to balance it with this real maturity. So again, that kind of brings in what I said earlier about bring the Capricorn energy with the Aries energy. So bring the youth, bring the inexperience, bring the innocence, bring the vitality, bring all of that energy, the free spirit, the energy where you feel liberated by life, you feel that all things are possible, but at the same time, you really need to blend that energy with this much more mature, stable, wise, very kind of wise energy. And if you can successfully combine these two different parts of you that obviously we all have within ourselves, this is how you're going to get the most out of March. And this is what the Akashic Records really want you to understand. So it's very I feel like the thing would be is, if you're naturally somebody that we talked about before, where you're naturally more cautious, and you might be more likely to miss an opportunity because you're going to overthink it, or you're going to be more cautious. You need to be stable, you need to be fixed. I feel like you need to use that part of your energy, but then you also need to almost gain guidance from another friend or somebody that you know that has more of the opposite energy, so more youthful, more kind of energized, more kind of risk-taking, because you kind of need to be able to blend the two together to make some of the decisions that you're going to make in March. And it's the careful blending of the two. And again, if you're on the other extreme, where you're somebody that's way more youthful, more of a risk-taker, like naturally more flowing with life, I think you need to use that energy, but you also need to gain guidance or insight from other friends, people, whatever it might be, parents, etc., work colleagues that actually hold more of this other cautious energy. And it's really blending these two energies together when you're making decisions. So using both the consciousness and the psychology of somebody that is a risk taker and very go-getting and very act now, think later, along with the energy of somebody who is very more cautious, more shrewd, more calculated, but also more I suppose more stable, with something that's more unstable. And this is how you need to use all of these different energies and thought processes when you're making decisions in March. So there we go. Sounds quite full on. But I guess this is also where, if you can successfully combine these energies in this way, no wonder great opportunities are going to come up for you, and it's really going to level you up very, very quickly. Because there's so much energy here about new paradigms coming in, definitely with the World Judgment and the Fool. It really feels like March can be a super, super pivotal month for you guys in many ways. And one thing I do know in my reality, to do with the people that are around me, from relatives to friends, I'm really aware these people are going to have new jobs. They're going to have new career paths, new jobs, new opportunities coming in the work environment. I can feel this very, very clearly for a number of my friends and the people that are in my reality. So again, it's that sort of energy is how it could play out for you. Or it could play out for you as in the new sort of relationship coming through, or the relationship going to a new level, new business idea coming through, new creative project getting more successful, becoming a parent, anything like that, becoming pregnant. Those sort of energies is all that kind of the cauldron part of everything that's available to you guys that have chosen this powerful March. So now let's just see. Oh, then we have pressure, transformation. It's such big, this is it, you see, it does feel like, I don't know what's going on for you guys, but there's definitely a lot of big changes that start to really crystallize, I feel, definitely by the end of March. It's almost like by the end of March, you're going to feel like you're starting a new chapter, a new kind of reality, a new kind of cycle. And then we have, oh wow, afterlife. Let me just come back to that one, because that to me is a bit more of a booby trap of something that you guys need to be mindful of. And now let's just take two of these. Let's see. So, oh wow, okay, fine, two want to come out, let's go with that. So then we have passion. Again, we've talked about passion already with that Aries kind of energy. And then the two that we have here, we have strength. And then we also have, oh wow, anger. You see, we talked about anger as well to do with that Aries energy. And again, with that Aries energy coming right out at the top, it's very clear to me that this is the overriding kind of like energy, circumstances, psychology and emotionality that you're probably going to be working with in March. So if a lot of you don't know about Aries type of energy, I think it's totally worth reading or finding out about the archetype of Aries. And I also have a video on this channel about the highest potential of the Aries archetype. I think that might be useful for you to look at, because so much here is pulling into kind of that type of frequency. And I do think as well, this is with the afterlife. This came out to me as a bit of a warning. So this is the booby trap, because you know how it is. I love using psychic resources to leverage my life, but with that, I want to know the opportunities that are coming so I can leverage them, but I also need to know about the booby traps that are coming so I can avoid them. And the combination of both the treasure chests and the booby traps, that complete map, is then how I can navigate my reality in a different type of way, let's say, which can bring, well, which works for me and brings me success. And one of those things is we've got to be aware of what the booby traps are. And this to me was instantly, my guides are like, booby trap alert with this energy. And what I can feel and see and sense really, really clearly is, I don't know what's going to happen because it's going to be different for all of you, but there really is some kind of experience that's making its way to you in March where you've got to be careful that you don't flip into an old, like, emotional, psychological belief system response. Because with as well the pressure here, passion, strength, anger, Fool, Wheel, Chariot, the Sun, Judgment, Aries, Afterlife, every single card is just kind of like potent and powerful. But then right in the very centre you've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is completely still and considered. The Seven of Pentacles energy is very much about considering what's happened before, what I've created, where I want to go now with that creation, what do I practically need to do to create what it is that I want. And this is the energy that you've somehow got to make sure doesn't get drowned out by all of this other intensity that's going off for you in March. So I think you've got to be really mindful that circumstances might push you slightly to be reactive. I think you could go from highs to lows basically, and I think you've got to be really careful with that, because you don't want to kind of like, and this sounds a bit intense, but you do not want to kill the opportunities that are being presented to you in March by the fact that you basically, I don't know, almost kind of it's almost like getting overwhelmed, either overwhelmed with stress, overwhelmed with emotion, overwhelmed with overthinking, overwhelmed with having too much to do. These are all the sort of energies that are there. And I know one thing that I always tell my partner whenever he's doing like a business thing is I'm always like, look, you know, if they're feeling really, you know, he's feeling really knackered, he's been working really hard, something like that, I'm like, do not make a decision on this tonight. Don't. You just must sleep on it. And if you can, give yourself a day. You just need to let all of this intensity, all of this intense type energy, you need to let it distill and diffuse a bit before you make an action, take a choice, sign a contract, send an email, make a call, anything like that. I think it is so, so important, because it's this Seven of Pentacles energy, this kind of still, stable, considered type of energy. And I think this is one of the most important things that you need to be aware of about don't kill opportunities by reacting too quickly to them when you're actually feeling overwhelmed with something, either overwhelmed by detail, time, stress, emotion, overthinking, responsibilities, whatever it might be. It is critical that you give yourself some time, even if it's just overnight, just to let all of those feelings and those emotions distill. And particularly if you're going to create a new physical reality, which it really looks like you guys are, with obviously the World, the Fool and the Judgment card, if you're going to be creating some new kind of physical reality with all of this, you know, it's really, really important that you how would I say it? You just really need to make sure that you are giving your physical, mental, emotional, energetic selves enough time to catch up with the new reality that is presenting itself to you. And remember, if something is meant for you, it's not going to just suddenly disappear within 24 hours or 48 hours. You know, there is something about timing. And again, this is making me see the book, The Art of War again. And I'm being told there's some passages in there. I don't think it's a long book. So if you guys feel called to, I think it's got some really valuable insights for you for March. And it's very much got this, all I'm just being told anyway, because I've not read it, is it's got some things about timing, and the timing of an attack, for example, is critical. It's really, really important. And I think that's something that you need to be aware of. Action is needed for sure in March, but actually timing of that is equally as important. And you've got to consider the timing. It's really, really, really important. So that is essentially what I'm getting for you guys in March. Hope you found that helpful, and I'll speak to you soon. I'm also going to do Akashic Record readings for March for each of the 12 signs, so also check back for that. And yeah, have a great one. Bye. Hi guys, so this is for everybody that chose message number 2 for what the Akashic Records wants to tell you about May. Whoa, March. So instantly, because I know everything is relevant, there's something key about March that leads into something very important that happens for you guys in May, so please be aware of that. But anyway, so let's see. So we're starting off with the 3rd house. So it feels like, again, it sounds a little bit like the energy of pile number 1, where there's kind of like a lot of youthful energy going on, because the 3rd house is ruled by Gemini, and Gemini is a very, very youthful, fast, quick energy. This seems a lot more mentally stimulated, a lot of communication, a lot of things going off in your environment. It feels like for some of you, things that are also going to either trigger you or stimulate you or inspire you with what you see on social media. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder what that will be. But there also feels like at the very core of what that is about, my guides are telling me, is really it's just that you're going to have something in your physical reality which is going to stimulate the beginning of a huge perception change, not just about your own identity, but about how you view the world around you. So that'll be interesting. I wonder what that'll be. But let's see what we get. So we start off with the Page of Wands. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm saying. Page of Wands is this youthful initiation of a new inception of something. And I do feel like it's very much something about beliefs, about perception of how you see something. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is something about how hard you're working right now. It could be with a job. It could be on your own self-growth. It could be with your own family karma. It could be with your relationship history. Anything like that. It feels like you're getting a new insight, a new perception to do with something about that which you've been working really hard on for a long period of time. And you must intuitively feel what that is, because I gave some examples just then, but obviously all of you are going to have, that's going to be relevant in slightly different ways for you. But this is a big breakthrough. And I'm hearing as well that this big perception change, oh my God, it's going to liberate so much of your headspace to start to make room for your ability to spot opportunities where previously you either didn't see any opportunities or you just saw problems. So let's see. Oh wow, 4 of Cups. Okay, let me just pull out a few more with that. Yeah, I think you're going to be getting out of some form of emotional stagnation. So March is really important for this, because again, something about this new perception that you have about something you've been working really hard on. You've been kind of stuck on what you've been working hard on for a long time, and it's given you a lot of apathy, depressive type of feelings, but also just lethargy, kind of a bit kind of resigned to something. And actually you're going to get a whole new look at this card here with this energy, with the picture. You're going to get a whole new burst of life coming into that area of your life. Let's just see here. Another 4. So we have 4 of Pentacles. So you've absolutely been feeling really stuck on something. Of that I now know for certain. And it has led you to, I think the thing is, on a bigger level, it's kind of just, and this is the feeling, and also what I'm seeing is it's kind of it's been like a dripping tap, and this is the metaphor, right? It's been like a dripping tap for you, which is just slowly over time felt like it's drained your enthusiasm, your spark for life, your zest for life. It's just kind of slowly been felt like it's been dripping away from you. And as a result of that, you know, you've started to almost, although you've had expectations for life, those expectations over time have kind of felt like they've been dampened down until it's almost like you half don't really believe that they can happen anymore with the 4 of Cups. And I do think it's really quite important, because that card is right in the very centre of your reading. So it's almost like you feel like you could never get out of whatever is that thing that you felt stuck about, that you've been working on for a long period of time, and you've definitely felt stagnant to do with it. But I do really feel that you'll be breaking free with it. And yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that card. Because this one here, we have the King of Wands. I love these cards. If I can get them to shine right. 1 minute. Such a quick, can you see it? So nice. There. yeah, I really do feel like this month you'll be absolutely breaking free from that. So if you really have been feeling in some way stuck, stagnant, apathy, your expectations have gone. I mean, it could be anything. It could even be like going on many dates and you're just not getting a response and you're fed up of it and it's starting to make you feel a bit like just apathy to do with it and like it's never going to work and your expectations feel like they're never going to met. Then I'm really seeing that you get some massive breakthrough and shift to do with that in March, because the dating is just an example. It could be anything. It could be anything whatsoever that you have been stuck with for a long period of time. And it definitely is something where you've been in your head about it. I know that. You've been thinking over and over and over, how can you change it? What can you do? It's that kind of thing that I'm talking about. But as of with this card, there's a huge awareness coming in. And I really do feel like that with the eye right in the very center of the sun. And then obviously this is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is the most entrepreneurial energy in the entire deck, I always think. And all entrepreneurial energy comes with a huge amount of gravitas, passion, desire. And I didn't even notice that there. I thought they were his wings, but it's not. It looks like it's almost like a phoenix type of bird behind him, and a phoenix is all about transformation. So again, it feels like you're going to have, wherever you felt stuck, wherever you felt like you didn't know how you're going to break this mental thought process, this emotional block, or this whatever blocking your physical reality, a whole load of energy is going to come through, and particularly an awareness is going to come through, which is going to help you change your perception, and it's going to happen super quick is what I'm hearing. So now let's see what other cards we have. I'm just going to pull them all out at once. Oh wow, so we have passion again. That's interesting because message 1 also had passion. And then we also have, let's see, intuition. Nice. I do always think the King of Wands and also the Queen of Wands, I always think they're really intuitive energies in a different type of way to say the King and the Queen of Cups, who are also really emotional. With this sort of energy that I'm feeling, it's more like it's going to be sudden inspiration that kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's very kind of inspiring. And then we also have the growth card. Again, this is the thing. I do feel like you're going to be growing past any blocks that you've had, and you're going to be able to move forward with something that you have really put a lot of energy into, or in some way or another, to try and break a pattern, break something, a cycle of something that's not working. And I really am hearing strongly that that's something that you will be able to achieve in March. I mean, obviously we can all achieve it at any time, but it's just in March there's really favourable energy for you with this. And then we have bravery, oceans, and that's a nice card. And this is the thing, I think this change in perception, it's going to do something where it's kind of like going to it's almost, because it changes your perception about something, it's then going to be encouraging you to take an action in a different type of way. And that different type of action is going to require some bravery, because it's going to be different to what you've done before. And it's going to be a little bit scary, but only scary in a good way. And then we also have outer core fluidity. I find this really interesting that both of these two cards here involve water. So I feel like, although the actual original block has become something that's very mental and it's something you've very much been in your head about, I actually also feel that almost the solution to it actually is really quite an emotive solution. So even though it appears that you need a solution that's going to be more mental for you to try and get to the next level of wherever you've been stuck, actually part of the insight is more of an emotional insight that you get. So I don't know if something happens or you see something or you hear something and it gives you such a strong emotional response that it's almost like it starts to break through the core of some really rigid belief system that you hold mentally. And in doing so, that's where all of this transformation comes from. It's pretty cool. And I just want to pull one more card and see what we get. Rising up. Nice. So again, even though this sounds like, it does sound and feel like there's a lot going on, that's almost, it's not heavy, but it's involved heavy energy from the past. But actually, I do feel like with the King of Wands, with the Passion card, with the Intuition card, with the Page of Wands, even with the third house is a fast house. It's where lots of changes happen. in a very small environment. But what I'm hearing for you is that in March, lots of changes happen in a very quick amount of time, in a very quick amount of space. But it is really important that you're very open. You need to be very open. And I think that it's, you know what, that's shit. I hate it when people would say that to me. I suppose really practically what it means is you have to allow yourself to be emotionally stimulated by something outside of you enough that that stimulation starts to penetrate a strong, rigid belief system that you've had, and it's that belief system that's been keeping you stuck. But the only way to unstuck that belief system is to let your emotions almost crack you open a bit. And also know this, I don't necessarily think this is something that's painful. I actually think the emotion that's really available to you is something about passion. It's something about something you really desire, and it's really going to push you to that place where you're taking some kind of much braver action as a result, particularly with the rising up as well, and also the outer core. I think there's something about March where you start to realise, where you feel a lot more powerful and strong within yourself, and this inner strength helps you realize that actually you're really solid on the outer side. And because you realize you're solid on the outer side and you've got inner strength, you also then know you can be brave, and as a result you take action, which allows you to move forward in some way with the rising up, and definitely with the growth card. And also the thing is, if we're really going to try and channel the kind of King of Wands energy, because for some reason I feel this energy is really important, particularly with the Phoenix here, and I don't know, it just, when it came out the deck, it just did this thing energetically to me, which just made me feel like this is really important. I just think with the King of Wands, the sort of channeled energy that you need to be working with is this. It's like, just give me a minute. No does not exist in March. It's all about yes. Yes to what I want to do, yes to trying new things, yes to doing something different, yes to knowing that I can achieve it, yes to knowing that I just need to explore it. It's just a yes space where basically nothing is supposed to be a no. Don't do the no, don't do the protection of no. Don't do the protection to your own self by thinking, no, I can't try it, or no, it's not working. Everything needs to be a yes. A yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes. It's kind of like, again, the King of Wands, when he's trying to create a new business or a new project, or he wants to do something, he will not stop until he has found that success to whatever it is that he is doing. And it doesn't matter how many times he is slammed, or it doesn't work, or he gets laughed at, or he gets disheartened, he will never, ever, ever give up. And that is the energy that you need to take with whatever this thing is that you've been stuck on. And all of the opportunities are going to start to come through. You've got to find that kind of deep, burning fire within you, which is just going to mean that you go forward no matter what. No matter what. And just really feel this strongly. Yeah, completely. So I hope that made sense to you. Loved reading for you. I forgot to say this in the other reading, but I give away 2 free readings every month. This month I'm going to do tarot readings, so please all you have to do is leave a comment below, a nice comment obviously, and then you'll go into a draw and I'll choose the person on the 23rd of Feb for whoever is going to get the free readings. And there's 2. I did 2 last month and they're on Instagram, so yeah, you can also find me there. But other than that, I'll also do Akashic Record readings for March for all of the 12 signs, so come back for that too. Anyway, have a great March and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hi guys, this is everybody that chose message number 3 for what the Akashic Records want to tell you about March, and you pulled the Fall card, which is the Reconcile card. But I actually also feel a different energy from this. I feel there's something that's going to be stirring up inside you in March it's slowly but really potently going to change how you feel and how you respond about something forever. And it kind of almost feels like it's subtle to begin with. No, actually it's weird. It's subtle to begin with, then it becomes more intense, then it becomes subtle again, then it becomes more intense. So it's kind of something where it's going to be back and forth in your awareness and in your life in March. And it's something that's going to become almost like that you just can't ignore it anymore, whatever that might be. But let's just see. So I'm going to pull these out as we go along. Oh wow, 7 of Pentacles. Message number 1 had 7 of Pentacles, and that was super important to all of their reading. But this one here is the most important card to your reading, so let's see what you get. Wow, 6 of Wands, nice. It's a nice success card to have. And then the Hierophant. This is really interesting. I'm instantly hearing the words that some of you are going to go back to something and try again, start again, try it all over again. And this could be anything from a job to a project to a relationship of any kind, friendship, family, romantic. I don't know, there's something that you are going to go back to, and this time you're going to go back to it and you're going to have a lot of success with it. And in having a lot of success with it, it's almost going to close a karmic contract that you've had with yourself about something. And as you close that karmic contract with yourself, again, this must be why there's something that changes within you forever, like I said in the very beginning. But again, it sort of waxes and wanes a bit over the month of March. And that again makes sense to me with the 7 of Pentacles, because as well as you seeing the results of it, there's also some contemplation that's going to be going off in March. So I do feel like you have ultimately a very successful month, just in general for March. But on this deeper, more soul psychological level, it's definitely something where you are going back to something and you're using all of the knowledge that you have from what's happened previously to now make different decisions. And as a result, you heal a whole different contract you've had with yourself, and you also importantly start to create a whole new different contract with yourself. And this is again why there's something about you that is changed forever from March onwards. I love it. I really, really love that. Let's just see what else we get. So let's just use some more tarot. So what do we have? I'm not reading anything reversed, I hear. So okay, King of Pentacles, nice. So again, this is really supportive of that 6 of Cups. It's very much saying that there's a lot of success that's going to be coming your way. And I do feel like that on a very practical material level, obviously with the King of Cups. So finance, house, job, career, business, whatever. Something about this becomes very successful. But on a much deeper level, the reason why it becomes really successful is because there's some part of yourself, your life, your reality that you are reconciling with. And as you reconcile with it, you gain this whole wisdom and maturity around something, which actually allows you to make much better decisions. It's almost like whatever area of your life this is, you're going to go to a higher level of consciousness. So let's just say you are at a child level of consciousness to do with whatever this is. You're going to go to the adult level of consciousness. Or let's just say you are the adult level of consciousness to do with whatever this is. You're going to go to the elder level of consciousness. So it's just a real it's a real mature, solid, stable energy that you're going to be working with in March, and it's actually going to feel really good. And then we have 7 of Cups. Okay, this is really interesting. So it seems like as a result of this kind of maturity, stability, and almost like the one way that you could describe it, and this won't be relevant for all of you, but some of you it will be relevant, it's almost like you're going to be healing some kind of old scar that you have. And because you heal that old scar and you reconcile with it and you make peace with it, it actually opens up a huge amount more energy for you. And then with that huge amount of energy comes what? More choices. It's going to open up a lot more choices for you. And that also makes me think as well with the King of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands card that some kind of money as well is coming in for you guys, because money is well known to just literally create a lot more choices. Obviously, the more money you have, the more different choices that you can make. And that almost seems like the physical level of kind of what's going on, but on the energetic soul level of what's kind of going on, it's more this case of, because you are liberating yourself, because you're reconciling with something and you're accepting it. It's this thing of like self-acceptance or acceptance of the other person or the situation or whatever it might be. You release so much tension and so much kind of almost like harshness, brittleness within your energy field, that it suddenly softens, expands, opens up, and as a result there's many different options and opportunities that become available to you that weren't available to you previously, without you having almost like this integration of something that wasn't fully integrated before. Oh, I love this. Nice. And then also here, I love these cards, by the way, they're so colourful. We have the Three of Pentacles. So actually with this, I actually sometimes see it, and I do this time definitely, it's like you're taking action, your spirit guide is guiding you, and another person in your life is guiding you. So you're kind of getting this lovely kind of collaboration, way more than what you'd usually get, that also involves the spirit energy soul part of yourself, as well as the physical reality and very tangible world. So that's kind of almost like a beautiful marriage of these two different parts of yourself. And again, it kind of, and again, I say marriage as well, because with the Hierophant, again, I talked about this new sort of contract that you'll be forming with yourself. So it is almost like you're going to be having this new kind of marriage with yourself, to do with a new contract, to do with something. Because again, you are forever changed about something that's a really big deal, and it allows you to level up and receive so much more in your life. So to be quite honest with you, friggin' hell, March feels pretty full on, but in a really positive way for you guys that chose this pile. Now let's just have a couple more oracles just to see if there's anything else that wants to be said. So we have illumination again. So this is this thing that I said you're going to have. The illumination, I think, is the integration, is the reconciling of something that you've been holding a lot of anxiety, tension and harshness to do with. And then we have growth. So again, just highlighting, I think this is very much the opportunities, the different opportunities that are going to be available for you as a result of this real levelling up that you'll be having. And then let's just see what we have here. We have, divine being. Again, for me, this is just talking about there's more parts of you that are going to be integrated, and so it's kind of like you've got access to more of yourself and more of reality. It's very much like with this card that we talked about here, where it kind of just feels like you're going to have a lot of support for things that you're doing in March, which also brings you a lot of success and also financial reward, as well as lots of other choices, because you're going to be, something is so much more softer and integrated and open about you as a personality, you as a character, because you really, it's not that you've let go of something, it's even more powerful than that. It's just that you've allowed it to be. That's it. You've just literally allowed it to be. And it's just completely changed some part of you, which means that you're so much more open to working with your spirit team and the soul part of yourself, as well as other people in physical reality. And I'm also hearing other people in your physical reality that you might have usually had very different belief systems too. So that could either be because there's a generational gap. So with the generational gap, there's often like different outer planets in your birth chart in different places, which means that often different generations have very different perspectives to each other because of the way planets like Pluto, Uranus and Neptune are situated. But it's kind of like you're able to bridge that gap. You're able to bridge gaps on a spiritual, psychic, soul level, as well as bridge gaps on more of a physical, generational type of level. And also this card often reminds me of your mind is many minds kind of energy, because it's the kind of collaborative work that results from many different people coming together to create something better than what anyone could do by themselves. So I love this energy. So it's really collaborative as well, which feels great. And then I'm just going to pull one more card, see what we get. We have... ice, purity, but I'm instantly drawn to the horse, the white horse on this. Again, this makes me, when I talked about this brittle part of your energy field that's just going to, it's going to dissolve and it allows everything else to expand. I think this is the thing. There's a part of you that's been really protecting yourself. It's been really holding you back. It's been trying to, you've kept yourself away from something, someone, some area of life, whatever it might be. And in doing so, you don't realise, but it really has, it's made your energy field all brittle. And because it's got brittle, it's then got aware that it is actually really vulnerable. And then that's fed into this whole protective cycle kind of thing, and needing to keep distance in some way from someone, something, some part of life, whatever it might be. But it really feels like there's it's almost like, it's not that the ice is going to melt away, but it's more that you're going to be able to see a way that you can collaborate healthily and harmoniously with whatever else is that you have been pushing away and pushing to one side and keeping a distance from. Because again, this is this very beginning energy from the beginning, which is the reconcile energy. And for some reason, it's coming out of the Akashic Records that the reconciling energy, it's not about you changing anything. It's allowing you to just let something be. And you're happy with that and you're at peace with that. And then obviously with the white horse, that just brings total and utter liberation and freedom. Because horses are so often seen as being archetypes of freedom and liberation. That feels so nice. That just feels so, so good. But I do want to point out as well, there is a big thing about collaboration here. The collaboration part is key. And I think it's really important to be very, very open to people that you really weren't really open to before. Whether that because there was an age gap, or there is a hierarchy gap, or there is a big belief systems gap, or a big cultural gap. I mean, it could be so many different things, but it is really, really important that you're kind of open to this very other kind of, I don't know, open to this, what appears on a physical level to be a very different human to you in some way, in any of those ways that we discussed. This is really, really important, and it just feels like it's going to bring so much money. It feels like it's just going to bring a lot of awesome opportunities for you in a very physical way, and it's going to just basically give you so many more choices in physical reality as a result of this. And again, but with this illumination card as well, I do think there's still going to be this sort of awareness that comes to you in March. So it's not fully with you right now, but it will be imminently, is what I'm hearing. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. I'm going to do the Akashic Record readings for March for each of the 12 signs, so come back for that. And also please leave a comment below, and you will go into a draw to win a free reading on the 23rd of Feb, which is also my birthday. So I did 2 last month, and they're on Instagram. So yeah, please, I love doing a couple of free readings and just getting to more intimately read to a couple of yours very specific energy. So please leave a comment for that. Please like and subscribe and share my videos, and yeah, come back for your horoscopes for March. Bye. Hi guys, this is for everybody that chose message number 4 for what the Akashic Records want to tell you about March. So you've chosen, this is the winter card, but it's the reflection card. But I also really feel like it feels like a card of beauty and stillness and wonder. I just don't know why I'm seeing that with all the snow. I'm just like feeling that thing where, you know, when you're the first person to walk out in like fresh snow, and you're the first person to leave tracks, and there's that really amazing stillness that you kind of hear, that you, in a way that you never hear when there isn't snow around. And you do really hear the birds, but there's a real silence somehow, like all of the sounds are slightly muffled and sort of deflected a little bit because of the snow's absorbing it. So that is the energy that's starting off, and I really, really love that feeling. So let's see. So again, this kind of feels like there's a huge amount of, just March feels like a really, really good month for everybody that's chosen this pile. And it just feels like you're going to gain a huge amount of your own energy back. You're going to feel really great within yourself. You're just going to be enjoying life. You're just going to be enjoying who you are and what you are and how things are going about. I suppose you're just really going to enjoy being, and that becomes incredibly liberating. Oh, nice. And then we open here with the 2 of Cups. Everybody loves that energy. So all kind of partnerships feel really healthy and harmonious. But this also very much feels like your own relationship with yourself is very harmonious, and that's where this great feeling comes of just feeling so good and just feeling so happy and just existing and being. But again, 2 of Cups coming out. If you're in a relationship, I feel like it's a great month for your relationship. A lot of understanding, connection, softness, appreciation, respect, adoration. All of these lovely kind of energies are available. And also, if you're not in a relationship, it looks like there's a really good opportunity for somebody to be coming in. But this person comes in through you not trying. So it's almost like if you were on the dating websites, you would stop on the dating websites and somehow this is when you meet somebody. Obviously I'm using that as a metaphor, but you kind of get the energy that I'm talking about. Yeah, because then we had the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords with the opening energy that we had of that winter wonderment kind of thing, is it just feels like the peace and the stillness. And it feels as well like you're going to be able to hear a lot of what it is that you really want. And you're going to also be able to express that easily, because it kind of feels like a lot of the chatter or chaos that is usually going off in your mind or your life or your emotions or your heart or your soul, it's just all going to be slightly absorbed a bit and therefore deflected and therefore muffled, a bit like what the snow does, where it just kind of stops the noises sounding quite so harsh and everything's a lot more quiet and still. So again, it just feels like such a beautiful energy. I really, really, really love that. So what else do you need to know? So I do think as well, on a really practical level, I do think it's really important to take advantage of this lovely energy that's coming to you. And probably if there's anything where you usually have resistance to, whatever it might be, I think this is a really easy month for you to go into that resistance and diffuse it and dissolve it easily and quickly, and basically create union with something that you usually had resistance to. I feel like that is one of the ways that you can really leverage March with the energy that's naturally going to be available to you. Let me see here. So we have the moon. Nice. I don't know why everything feels nice. I wouldn't usually say nice about the moon, but again, I suppose the moon's also kind of got this kind of mystical kind of stillness, kind of like your senses kind of feel more alert, and yet there's less to be alert to because everything's a lot quieter. It kind of feels like that sort of is the energy that's really going off in March. And again, this is probably going to mean, if you wanted to know how to leverage March really well, is that because a lot of the clutter, the stuff that is not relevant, the drama that is not relevant, is going to be naturally muffled for you. And I feel like as well, you're going to be more in tune with yourself. So you're going to be more sensitive to everything around you, but in a good, healthy way. I feel like you'll be able to sense some opportunities coming. And I think when you sense opportunities coming, you need to start planning in advance of them coming. That's another way that you could leverage this energy the best. And that's probably what I would do. And yeah, with the Queen of Cups, I think your intuition is going to be really, really on. But it also feels as well like it's a good month for you to really be getting very, very clear with yourself about what it is you really want to create in your life. And again, I do think there's this thing about making sure you are communicating to life for your needs to be met, but you also understanding what those needs are, but not in a selfish way, like I must have life and meet my needs. It's just more like, okay, I know that I would love this and I would love this, but I'm feeling great and happy anyway, so I don't need it at all. But if it did come to me, that would be amazing. It's kind of that sort of energy that's kind of like going on. So it's like the clarity of what you do really want, because you're more sensitive to what it is you do want and how life is collaborating with you. And then it's more like a soft, playful gesture to life to fulfill some of these things that you would love to be met. But again, it's no big deal either which way. So there is nothing needy or desperate or emotional about having these needs met. These needs being met, it's just really like the cherry on the cake. And actually, it really doesn't matter to you whether they are met, but if they're not met. But if they are met, that would be amazing. And if they're not met, no worries, because I'm still absolutely loving who I am and what I am and how this month is going. This is such an amazing energy. I love it. Okay, so then we have the Temperance. Again, the Temperance almost reminds me of another kind of reflection of the Two of Cups, because you can see there's Two of Cups in both of these pictures, and they're both basically collaborative energies. And again, that just really shows me, I think things are starting to balance out for you. It's like you're starting to get all your ducks in a row. You're starting to get this flow with yourself. And on an energetic level, me as a psychic, I would probably start to be aware that your natural frequency colour set, so these very unique colours that come from the deepest parts of your being and are the greatest reflection of who you are at your core, and it's completely unique to you. So it's like your unique energetic signature. It feels like these would be starting to really kind of develop and blossom and flourish. And this is part of the reason why you also have such a great feeling and such a feeling of innocence and all, everything is possible. And I suppose a purity about who you are and what you are. I think that's the other way that I describe this. It's just such a lovely energy. And you know what? This is the first reading where I can feel like I'm not talking so fast. My heart rate is a lot slower. I just feel just calmer. It's that sort of energy. It's a really nice calmness. And I definitely think if some of you don't usually hold this energy space, it is going to feel so good. But again, if you want to know how to leverage this situation even more, just make sure you're good on all of those things that you know make you feel good. So for example, if this was me, this is like I'd be going to hot yoga. I'd obviously be doing readings because I love doing that. I'd probably read a bit of some astrology thing that I liked. I'd probably watch a bit of YouTube. I would like go out with some friends. I might want to go dancing. I definitely go to the gym. I go to the sauna. I might go to the float tank. I'd hang out with my parents for a bit. I'd see Rupert. I'd go on holiday with my partner. It's all this sort of energy, if you kind of know what I mean. But that's unique to me. This is what I would love that would make me feel great. So whatever that is for you, it's kind of like go with it. Just allow yourself to go with it and really enjoy this month of March. Now let's see. Let's just pull a couple more oracle to see what we get. Anything else you need to know about March? Eternal self. Okay, so for me, this is just this whole thing about you're really starting to feel who you are and what you are, and you're really enjoying being who you are in March. Just feels like such a great energy. And let's see here. What else do we need to know? Joy. There we go. Joy and music. Again, it just feels like I can't just say enough times. I don't really think there's much more for me to tell you guys actually than what I've told you, because again, it just feels like you're going to have a really good month. You're just going to feel really good. You're going to feel really relaxed. You're going to feel really at one with yourself and life, which I think is lovely. And then we have reflection. And I think actually that was the energy that described this card as originally, but I think the reflection is more just like, and it looks like two mirrors if you look at it. I think you're just really going to start to see yourself and feel yourself in this way where you just feel good and you just actually enjoy being you for the month. It just feels really good, and you just, I don't know, you're not overthinking anything, you're just being with stuff, you're just enjoying stuff. Cleanse. Oh, nice. I feel like the cleanse thing, it feels very much like, it feels to me more like an energy of flowing, particularly with under the music card. It just feels like you're going to be very in tune and flowing with life. And I do basically think all of these three cards down here are very much about flowing and being in tune with life, because the moon is intuitive, so it's in tune with life. The Queen of Cups is seriously emotional and flowing and in tune with life, and actually so is the Temperance card. So everything just feels like there's going to be a lot of flow. So one thing that I would say, if I want to talk again about how to leverage this month, is I do really think it's important that any opportunities that come, I think go with them. Opportunities that you think might come, start planning in advance for them so you're ready the moment that they do appear. But like, have loose expectations on things, like this whole thing about having your needs met. Have that feeling of like, cool, if it works, amazing. If it doesn't, I'm not going to worry about it because something else is going to come in. I don't need to control this. And I do definitely think with the Moon card, Queen of Cups and Temperance again, zero control goes off here. Like in the Moon, you just cannot control anything because it's all hidden, it's all suggestive, it's all so subtle. You cannot control that energy. The Queen of Cups just flows with it because, I mean, she just never wants to control anything. She's just not somebody that will control. That's not who she is or what she is. And she doesn't find pleasure in controlling either. She finds pleasure in flowing, a bit like the dance, the joy music card there. And again, the Temperance energy. This is all about like being almost, what I'm hearing very specifically with this card now is kind of being very open to things that maybe you weren't quite so open to before, because you sort of feel like anything feels possible to some extent. It's got that sort of energy, but it also, anything feels possible because you're not holding on too tightly to anything happening either. Yes, there are things that you would like and things that you wouldn't like, but because you generally just feel good within yourself, you just got a much more relaxed approach to stuff in March. And that in itself is going to be incredibly cleansing, I do also think, to your aura and also to your nervous system, because it's going to allow your nervous system to calm down, to discharge. You know, we all get a build-up of stuff, and I think even on a very physical level with stuff like EMF and just to name a few things, and just the stresses and presses of life, and obviously all of the chemicals and stuff that are in foods and stuff like this. Now, I'm not anal about any of that stuff. I used to be, but I mean, I'm still appreciative of the fact that there can still be an accumulation, and just sometimes it's really great if you get a certain time period when you can just cleanse all of that out of you. And it can appear in many ways, like somebody might detox, or somebody might fast, or somebody might, I don't know, there's all these sort of things. But I feel like with you guys, it's not that you're doing anything like that. It's just that this naturally is a time period where, I don't know, maybe the planets are aligned in such a way in some of your star charts that actually this just process is just naturally occurring just by you existing with life, because that can totally happen as well. We don't always have to do actions that then create an outcome, although that is often the way it is. But just as much as there is one way, there is the equal and opposite way also available in life. And this month is very much not so much about you having to overdo anything. It's just really about things are just naturally going to come to you, because that's just a phase that you're in at this time period. So please enjoy it, because this sort of energy does no way nearly always often come. And just for you guys, I want to pull one last card from this deck, which I haven't done with the others, but I just feel called to. So let's see what we get. We're talking about flow and all of these things. Then we get the koi fish, and also the koi fish is meant to be very, very lucky and abundant and all of these kind of things. So that just feels like a perfect summation of what's going down for you in March. So please enjoy it, make best use of it, and yeah, thank you for listening to this reading. I'm also going to do readings for March for each of the 12 signs, so definitely come back to my channel for that. Please like, subscribe and share my video, and if you comment below you'll go into a draw for a free reading which I will give or contact you about on the 23rd of Feb. So please leave some lovely comments below and that will be awesome. Anyway, thank you for that. Totally enjoying March because it really looks like a really great one for you guys. Just make the best use of it, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.